What's up? Thanks for coming back through. Super excited about this one because, if I'm being quite honest, I never liked this brand. So you can tell you're going to get an honest review out of me when I start out like that. I never quite understood the hype around it. I never quite understood the technology because it's not really new. Going all the way back to the Reebok ERS system, energy return system, back in the 80s and 90s. All the way up to K-Swiss having similar technology of tubes that collapse. I get the technology, but it's been tried before. Why was this different? And really, their offerings haven't been that comfortable. Like, I really would like to hear from someone who had the previous iterations of a lot of their shoes. What was it? Because for me, it's kind of country club hype. I see a lot of people wearing them. I don't get it. However, with this model, I absolutely get it. It started with the CloudMonster. Loved it. Was not functional as a runner for me particularly. But I did understand the technology at that point, the role, and some of the things they were trying to do. But now with this one, which kept the name, but is nothing like the previous iteration, they might have something on their hands here. So let's talk about the CloudSurfer 7 from On. Upper midsole, outsole, as we always do. We're really going to get to that midsole because I want to show you how it's working, what it does, some of my likes and some of my concerns. So, starting with the upper, we've got a engineered mesh, dual layered mesh system. It's airy, it's breathable, it's standard. Nothing super special about it. A little bit of a design flair going on in some of how they got the stitching and the holes. What I like and what has become a signature of On is their lacing systems. A lot of their lacing is tied into strapping that goes along with the mesh, so it's part of the stitching, which I think is a lot better than overlays. And then you can see how they actually sew the elements down. So on that front side lace loop, it's like pulling on a ghillie system. You've got some traditional holes. They look to be stitched in holes, which is cool. But then those top loops again, they get in there and they are actually stitched down pieces of string, kind of like a really short fly wire like Nike uses. And they provide some really good lockdown. Not just the lockdown on your foot, but the laces tend to get friction against those cords and they don't move either. I found that to be kind of nice. The tongue is gusseted midway down, which is good. Decent padding, breathability. You're up against that tongue material as its gusseting goes all the way to the toe and becomes the inner layer of the mesh. Very smooth material on a really nicely padded collar. Again, that Swiss engineered design that On has had right there at the collar kind of flattens out and goes up versus the normal, sort of curvilinear scoop that comes on most shoes. That's a signature. Not sure if it is a particular considered design, but it's a signature of theirs. I'm not always a fan of a lot of that overlay. Just makes it hard to tie and untie, but it does look good. They've got kind of a stylistic brand language going there where they put the name of the shoe broken up along that band along with the logo for On. I know a lot of people see it as QC, OC, OU, QU, and On didn't do the best for branding there. Call me. That's my actual job, On. Need a little help with that. The side element there is reflective. So, a little bit of something, and then some of those stitching elements will shine when the light hits them. So you get a little bit of visibility. As you wrap around the shoe, there is a heel counter inside, but you can tell it's just cardboard. It's very flexible. What they really do have is this external heel counter that works beautifully. It's actually pretty good at stabilizing. I love the little considered design element there of the Swiss flag against the Swiss engineering. That's not just good looking, but functional. Yeah, the upper is comfy. I got no complaints with the upper. Pretty basic, but that's all you need. You just need it to work. So let's get into this midsole. Outsole is minimal, so we're going to spend most of our time talking about the midsole. You may or may not have seen the On Cloud midsoles. Well, actually, the the brand's name is just On. The Cloud is their technology. And so a lot of what you hear with On Cloud, the Cloud is in the name of the shoe. On is the name of the brand. So On is using a new foam to go with their Cloud technology, which is what they're calling their see-through tubes. So their original, it was just, I want to say they are hexagonal tubes. I don't think they're complete circles. I think they are, what would you call it? Polygonal stop sign shapes. Anyway, these, however, they've moved and changed the shape of their collapsing tubes to a slightly forward leaning diagonal, which then as you step down on it will sandwich together perfectly in a sort of serrated knife pattern. You know, it looks like a saw edge or a lightning bolt, and then as it smushes together, it becomes closed. What I have found is that the compression is the softness. When those two pieces come together, they meet and provide that rocker technology and shape, and then the stiffness on contact that provides energy return is when the two pieces of the midsole meet together, and that saw pattern or that lightning bolt pattern meets to complete the shape. It's really, really smart. It's really smart. It's really unique. It feels great. Cloud Tech Phase is the foam. Where they come up with some of these names, I'm like, come on, y'all, just make it really easy to say. You're getting a little too smart for your own good. But anyway, Cloud Tech Phase is the foam. Itself is very, very soft. Doesn't feel super special. Doesn't feel like a hypercritical foam. It really just feels like, compression molded EVA. It's soft. It's definitely soft. And I think it's engineered, as you can see the shape, when things come together, how it meets to form its compressed shape is engineered, which I do like, and I can feel it. The rocker feels great. It's super, super comfortable. It's light. It feels very, very fast. My only concern with this is that these are moving parts now. That compression is going to cause stress on the foam at that moving part. What's the wear testing on it? How does it wear? Does it wear down? Will it break? Will it tear? In the CloudMonster and some of the other ones, you never really had that concern because of how it was shaped. But now that this one is a forward-leaning, moving midsole, compressing very much like the 3D technology, the printed technology from Adidas 4D shoes. As it compresses and comes back, what is the durability on that? We don't know yet. These are very new. Not a lot of feet in them, not a lot of miles on them other than people who have tested them before. So we'll see. But on first wear, they are tremendous. Now, it is exposed outsole, and it's got a little bit of a pattern, but that exposed part is going to wear because that is the majority of where you're spending your time. I'd be interested to see what the traction is like. You do have exposed pieces of rubber on toe off and on heel strike, but I will admit they did feel a little bit slippery on some surfaces, floors, carpets, as I'm just walking around, so I'm talking style now. But even on the street. You know, if you hit some wetness, I don't know how that's going to wear. And that little piece on toe off doesn't cover the ball of your foot, which is really sitting about right here. So a major pressure point without rubber on it, don't know, but I like it so far. As you can see, the tubes do complete. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of cushioning systems that will show you the fancy lateral or medial side of things. And then on the inside, they're not there. ASICs, I'm looking at you in your gel technology. There was never any gel anywhere in there to begin with. It was only on the outside for extreme heel strike. Anyone who bought gels over the years should feel cheated. I'm just saying. But these go all the way through. You can see right through them. You know the technology is working all the way through the cross section of the shoe. Now what they did remove that a lot of people have liked is they had what I believe was called a speed board. That speed board was stiffness built into the midsoles of their shoes. It did make the shoe very hard, very inflexible. It was supposed to act like a plate, but it didn't have the same feeling of plated shoes, so it was really just a shank in the shoe to keep it stiff. They do have some torsional twist, but the compression of the shoe as it squeezes will provide a little bit of that stiffness. So we'll just have to see. Again, I'm wondering how it wears for the long term. I'm wondering what it would feel like, you know, in more than a few workout sessions. I can already feel that this is going to be a speedy shoe. You know, so much of the running world is focused on distance running, but for an everyday trainer, for running intervals, you know, 250, 150, 120, 100, 75. Can I do those intervals? Running stairs, doing plyometrics, where that midsole is compressing and stiffening on compression and then releasing. There's going to be a lot I want to test out with it, but I'm liking where it's at so far. And this is the first on shoe that I have actually thought made sense and actually feels good. And I have tried and tried and tried. I would really love to see them take this new collapsing tube shape up to the CloudMonster. If they do that, I think they might have something on their hands. So let's keep an eye out and see. So that is the On CloudSurfer 7. And I think I will be trying to maybe get this in another colorway. So far, so good. I've only had them for a couple days, and they feel great. I'm looking forward to putting them to work, getting a good workout in them, some plyos, some running, some sprinting, some intervals, some stairs. I'm going to be in these all week and kind of see how they go. And if they do go, from a fashion and style sense, they've got an all-white, triple white pair that is, I am going to maybe get those if these work out. So stay posted. I will let you know how they feel. If anybody already has the CloudSurfer, let's get into the discussion down below. Let us know what you think of them. Pluses, minuses, good, bad, thumbs up, thumbs down. And yeah, we'll see if we can get some discussion going around these. Thank you so much. We will talk to you soon. All right, peace.